This conference will now be recorded.
Today, on the second day of Chigilsa City, I happily welcome all the delegates who have joined us. Dear delegates, please note that e-certificate will be provided for those who attended at least 5 webinars for this series. All need to fill the feedback form which will be provided in the chat box during the session. And make sure that you have muted your mics and turned off the video for smooth class. You may raise your doubts at the end of the session through the chat box. Let's start our session with the blessings of Almighty. I invite Subhana, final year student Ashtanga, for the prayer.
मैत्रीं भजत अखिलचित्रीं मैत्रीं भजत अखिलचित्रीम् आत्मदेव परानपि पश्यत आत्मदेव परानपि पश्यत युद्धं त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत युद्धं त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत त्यजत परेश्वर क्रममाक्रमणं त्यजत परेश्वर क्रममाक्रमणं मैत्री भजत अखिलचित्री मैत्री भजत अखिलचित्री.
Thank you, Subhana. Now I invite Sruthi P, final year student Ashtanga, for welcome speech.
Honorable resource person, respected teachers, organizing committee, delegates, and my dear friends. A very warm good afternoon to one and all. I consider it as my immense pleasure to have been asked to propose a welcome speech on the second session of Chigilsa Siddhi 2020, the national level webinar series on dermatology principles and practices organized by the Department of Kaya Chigilsa, Ashtangam Ayurveda Vidyapeetham and Chigilsalayam. So let me move on to my duty. I, on behalf of Ashtangam Ayurveda Vidyapeetham, extends a very hearty welcome to our resource person, Dr. P.M. Madhu Sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Roganidana, Government Ayurveda College, Kannur. I also welcome our beloved teachers of Kaya Chikitsa Department, Dr. Narayanan Nambi Sir, Principal and HOD of Kaya Chikitsa Department, Ashtangam Ayurveda Vidyapeetham. I also welcome Dr. Manoj Kumar Sir, Deputy Superintendent and Assistant Professor, Kaya Chikitsa Department, Ashtangam Ayurveda Vidyapeetham. Next, I would like to welcome Dr. Anushree S.P. Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Kaya Chikitsa, Ashtangam Ayurveda Vidyapeetham. Last but not the least, I welcome all the delegates and my dear friends to this session of Chikitsa Siddhi 2020.
Thank you, Sruthi. Now, today, as we are here for the second session of Chigilsa City 2020 webinar series, Ashtanga family is extremely delightful to have Dr. P.M. Madhu Sir for grace this webinar and enlightening us on the topic dermatology principles and practices. Dr. P.M. Madhu, graduated from PPSV Ayurveda College, Kottakkal, and postgraduated from Government Ayurveda College, Kannur. A distinguished Ayurveda practitioner who is credited with several publications, paper presentations, including national and international seminars. Published many books, including Uyiraru Consultation in Ayurvedic Dermatology. He has received many recognition, including All India Thesis Award by Kottakkal Ayurvedishala in 3 consecutive years, Shastra Ratna Award from Indian Institute of Scientific Heritage. On behalf of Ashtanga family, with gratitude and honor, I invite Dr. P.M. Madhu Sir for deliver the class.
Hello, thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Am I audible? Okay. Thanks for your words. Let me convey my sincere regards to the organizers Ashtangam Vaidyapeetham for inviting me to share some of my thoughts and experiences regarding Ayurvedic dermatology. I was told to deliver a lecture, especially exclusively for final year students and house surgeons who are having some difficulty in bridging the theoretical parts between the practical aspects of Ayurvedic treatments. As we know, when we are studying our syllabus and appearing for examinations, we will be very thoroughly knowing the theoretical parts and the slogas and all. But while we are entering to the practical world, while we are treating the patients, these slogas will not help us, but the concepts which are imprinted in our mind, that should guide us for our further treatment purposes in practice. So today I am trying to focus on the bridging between the theoretical parts and the practical applications of these theoretical concepts in Ayurveda, especially described in Ayurvedic dermatology part. How these dermatological considerations in Ayurveda can be theoretically correlated with the practical aspects of the clinical applications. So within these few periods, within 1 hour, I will conclude my lecture. Within the short span of this time, I will concentrate mainly on some relevant factors, mainly 5 facts. One thing, before going for the treatment of any skin diseases, we have to know the diagnosis of the particular skin condition, the typical skin condition. What is the name of the condition? We have to identify the diagnosis part, right? What kind of diagnosis is relevant in cutaneous manifestations? While diagnosing a dermatological case, what kind of diagnosis is relevant? That is the one relevant part. Second, how we can reach at that particular diagnosis. That is the process through which we have to go to reach that particular diagnosis. Third one, then how we have to select appropriate drugs to reverse this particular condition. Fourth one, how we can prescribe, how we can prepare an ideal prescription for this particular condition. Fifth one, what are the relevant criteria regarding selection of the external treatment, topical therapy in skin diseases. So at the end of this session, you or the students or surgeons should be able to utilize these 5 factors. That is one, the method, what is the relevant method of diagnosis. Second one, how we can arrive at that particular diagnosis. And third one, how we can select appropriate drugs to alleviate or reverse that particular condition. And fourth one, how we can prescribe, we can prepare an ideal prescription for that typical condition. And fifth one, how we can select an appropriate external application or topical therapy in that particular condition. These 5 factors, 5 things, we have to be very much excellent in these 5 factors at the end of this session. So let us move to the session. First one, what is the relevant diagnostic criteria, or what is the criteria behind the diagnosis of skin diseases? So as you know, there are so many references in our classics regarding the cutaneous manifestations, they are discretely distributed at different parts of our text. So from the Mahakushta, Rudrakushta, Visarpa, Vidradi, Rudraroga, Shirapitta, different types of pranas. Like that, so many cutaneous manifestations are described in our classics. So in the Kushta Prakarana itself, we can see 7 Mahakushtas and 11 Shudra Kushtas. There are different names are also described. Vicharchiga, Siddha, so many different names are also displayed. So by diagnosing a particular case, we can have so many morphological features about the skin conditions. For example, in the Mahakushta itself, we can see Sagandu, Vidigashyava, Desigatya, Vicharchiga, Sidmam, Dusham, Bagi, Andar, Krishtam, Dejakire, like that. For each and every skin condition, there will be so many detailed descriptions about the morphological features of these conditions. So assessing the morphological features forms a particular kind of diagnosis. So by assessing the Sagandu Pidigashiyava, we can assess that is a type of Vicharchiga. Sidmam Ruksham Bagi, Andar Krishtam Dejakire. By assessing the particular features of that morphology, we can reach at a particular diagnosis in that case. But you see, there is no particular treatment regarding the particular morphological features. For Vicharchiga, there is no particular treatment described in Chikitsa part. For Sithma also, for this condition, this is the treatment like that. The exact correlated treatment is not mentioned in our classics in Chikitsa. In Visarpa also we can see, Kshudrakushta also we can see. The name is obviously that is very relevant. We should reach at a particular name. But while treating a case in clinical practice, the naming of a disease is not that much relevant. So if that condition, that clinical condition, the naming of the condition is very much relevant, then there should be a correlated treatment in Chikitsa Bhaga. In Chikitsa Prakarana, we cannot see like that. So it is not that much relevant. We should reach at a particular name, but it is not that much relevant. But what is the relevance? You see, then we can see the external features represent a particular dosha dushya vishesha. So if it is relevant, by assessing the condition of the morphological features of a skin condition, we can assess the dosha dushya visheshan in that particular skin disease. So by assessing the dosha dushya visheshan, whether we can reach at a particular diagnosis which is relevant for treatment, you see, for example, we are assessing a particular skin condition which is Ruksha and Shyama with Shula. We will say that is a Vadika type of Kushta. So for Vadika Kushta, we will select some Tailavana or Snehavana for that. If that is done, the Tailavana or Snehavana will aggravate or Vadashamana drugs directly if you are giving, that may aggravate the skin condition, and 2 or 3 days after the exacerbation of the skin condition may present. So that is also have some limitations. That diagnosis also has some limitations. In other terms, you see, sometimes some persons will tell the investigation is very relevant. For example, repeated and recurrent carbon are coming in our different various parts of our body. Then we will say that may be due to their diabetes. So the diabetic carbon may be there. So for diabetic carbon, we should diagnose the status of diabetes. So we will depend upon investigation, various types of investigations. So investigations are very relevant for the diagnosis of skin condition we will tell. So in some conditions that is relevant, but in all conditions the investigations are not that much relevant. So you see, we have seen the naming of the disease and dosha dusha involvement or investigation. These are not that much relevant in case of practical clinical applications or clinical treatment. So what is highly relevant in diagnosis of a skin condition? You see, in this juncture, we have to go back. We have to go back for a flashback. How these external morphology or external cutaneous manifestations are seen in our body. You see, from the initial days of our academy, you can see so many basic principles are taught in our academy. So many basic principles means Padartha Vijnana, you can see yatra vanni, yatra dhuma, yatra vanni. You see, in Nidana part, we can see so many Kshatriya Kalas, that are the Samprapti Ghatakas, which are forming the basic root of every disease. So you see, every skin manifestation or cutaneous manifestation are the mere presentations of a large iceberg under the sea. You see, this small piece of iceberg we are seeing outside the sea, that is the morphological manifestation. If we are seeing a red rash over the skin, that is a representation or a signal of a large pathology inside our body. So you see, you may be remembering the basic facts which are studied previously. You see, without a Kshatriya Kala, any manifestation may not present. Every single manifestation over the skin will be resulting as a result of a huge pathology inside our body. Without a samprapti, there will not be any presentation over the skin. So you see, whether it may be psoriasis or lichen planus or eczema, whether it may be whether it is Sidma Gushta or Vijarchika or a Shudra Gushta, Charmadala, there will be a obvious reason behind the disease. That is the Kshatriya Kala. That is progressed through the Kshatriya Kalas. Basically, there will be Sanjaya, Prakopa, Prasada, and the Sthana Samsraya. At the time of Sthana Samsraya only, even Purvarupa will manifest. So, essentially, for every cutaneous manifestation, there will be Kshatriya Kalas or latent pathology inside our body. So, for the reversal of the pathology, for the reversal of the Kshatriya Kalas, or for the reversal of the progression of progressed pathology, we have to assess these events which are happened inside our body before the manifestation of the then only we can correctly diagnose the case and correctly reverse the skin condition. So in order to assess, we have to identify the events, which are the events happened inside our body before the manifestation of skin disease. Otherwise, if we are applying an oil or ointment or something, some kashayas or like that, such external manifestation may alleviate. External manifestations may reduce at a particular extent, but in order to alleviate the complete pathology from our body, we have to identify the events which are happened inside our body. Then only we can reverse actually the internal atmosphere. Very in Shuddha Chikitsa, we can see Shuddha Chikitsa is the treatment which can alleviate all the elements which are involved in the pathology of the skin disease. So you see, for the formation of Kshatriya Kalas or samprapti of a particular disease, essentially there will be some particular events inside our body. Initially, there happens a Pratiryomada in our koshta due to particular nidanas. Nidanas I am not mentioning here. As you studied previously, the various types of Virutaharas, Vidyahara, Vihara, Maharena, Visheshena, Virochana, like that. So many nidana factors are explained in our classes. Kushtaroga Nidana, Visupa Nidana, and Kshudraroga Nidana. There are so many Nidanas. These Nidanas will cause some particular events in our body that may cause these events. The events I am telling, they are not the step-by-step events, but they may happen due to the involvement of Nidanas. The Pradinamada in our Koshta may happen, Ama formation in our Koshta may happen, and Agni Mandya in our Koshta may happen, and Srodho Vaigunya. Srodho Vaigunya, mainly Resavaha Srodha and Rektava Srodha, and in some cases, Mamsa Srodha and Medava Srodha also involved in various skin diseases. So essentially, there will be a Pradinamada, Ama formation, Dor Agni Mandya, and Dosha Dushti will be the Dhadu Dushti will be there, Srodha Vaigunya will be there, Ojo Nasha also will be there. So, as a result of this particular pathology, as a result of this samprapti, we can see essentially in our body there will be a altered pradiloma, altered anilomada. So you see pradilomada will be there. Against the vayu will direct upwards to carry the vitiated dosha from our koshta. Due to ama that is not properly digested or metabolized. So essentially there will be the formation of ama and formation of dosha dushti, and that dosha dushti will be dislocated from the koshta to the shakha through the process of pradiloma of vata. And in shakha you see wherever Srodha Vaigunya is there, that at that particular spot the manifestation will happen. So every skin disease you see there will be pradilomata, ama and dosha dushti, Srodha dushti, and dhadu dushti, and ojo vaigunya. So by considering a patient for diagnosis, you see if you are interested to reverse the complete pathology of that patient, in order to alleviate the complete condition, complete disease manifestation of that patient, we have to assess. We have to assess the status of these factors in that particular body. Otherwise, our treatment will not be successful. So if we are diagnosing a patient, we have to assess the status of anilomada, status of ama in his body, and agni dushti, dosha dushti, and srodha vaigunya, or the status of srodha vaigunya and ojo nasha. These are the samprapti ghada. Actually, these are the samprapti ghadagas involved in a particular person or particular disease. So every person you see, for every person, for 2 or 3 sigma cases, for each and every cases, the samprapti ghadagas are different. So we cannot say for sigma this is the treatment. This protocol should be applied in a particular sigma case. Like that, we cannot say. So you see, while considering a clinical practice, we have to assess the patient in terms of his pradilomada, his ama, his agni-mandya, his dosha dushti, his srodha vaigunya, and his srodha dushti, like that. If we can assess the patient according to these factors, we can easily reverse the condition with appropriate drugs. So you see, in selecting a particular drugs, I will go on to that particular subject later. While selecting a particular drug, you see for Gandharvastadi Kashaya, Chirulyadi Kashaya, Amrutottam Kashaya. In case of skin diseases, you see Nimbadi Kashaya, Guruchari Kashaya, Manchistari Kashaya, Mahamanchistari. So many drugs are there, combinations are there. How we have to use that particular drug in that particular condition, you see, by assessing the status of the patient according to these samprapti ghadagas. We can select the drug which can do anilomana this much, which can do agni-bhajana this much, which can do srodho shuddhi this much, which can do dosha shuddhi this much, which can do dhatu shuddhi this much. Like that, for every combination, there will be some equations to combine. So by diagnosing a case, you see, we have to assess the status of the patient according to the Samprapti Ghadakas. Hello? Okay. So our first instructional objective is the method of diagnosis. How we have to diagnose a cutaneous condition, which according to which criteria, according to what criteria we have to diagnose a case. So you see, first instructional objective we have completed the data. You see, while we are diagnosing a case, we have to stick on to the criteria which can provide us the status of the Samprapti Ghadakas. I think it is clear. Then how we have to diagnose the patient according to the principles of, according to the criteria described previously. You see, we have to take the history of the patient for every case, for every diseases. This is very relevant. Not only in the case of skin diseases. In the case of every diseases, we have to identify the Samprapti Ghadakas in a patient. So in the case of skin diseases, we are taking the history in order to assess the status of the Samprapti Ghadakas. Patient may not be concerned about these factors. For example, some patients will be having complaint of hair loss. So they will complain hair loss, the hair fall, and some patients will be having itching. They will complain only itching. So we have to ask the patient in terms of our Samprapti Ghadakas. What is the status of your kosta? What is the status of your acne? What is the status of your dosha? We have to make our own questions to identify the status of these factors inside his body. So, for example, in order to assess the amatva in some certain bodies, we are asking some questions. If you are having proper appetite in proper time, like that we are asking. But more than that, we have to assess the patient in skin diseases. In skin diseases, a very slight temperature will be there inside of their body if they are having that much ama inside their body. The mandoshmala is an indication of amatva inside their body. So like that, in the case of itching in throat, headache, and upper respiratory tract infections, recurrent infections, they are the indications of Pradilomada. In Udavarta, there are so many references regarding the criteria for Udavarta. Udavarta happens mainly due to the Pradilomada of the Vata. So by asking questions like this, if you are having heaviness in abdomen, or if you are having constipation, if you are having any congestion in throat, or if you are having recurrent headache or upper respiratory infections, like that, they are indications of Pradilomada. So in those patients, we have to assess the patient in terms of that Pradilomada. For example, in some patients, the cases of Echin vulgaris, the Mugadoshika, for a long period, if they are taking medicine for cutaneous manifestations for 6 or 7 months, they are not having that much relief for that. Then we have to assess the patients in terms of the Samprapti Ghadakas, and we have to reverse those patients with appropriate drugs also. So in order to alleviate that particular condition, if they are having that much Pradilomada inside their body, even though that is skin disease, we have to give endowment drugs. That, for example, this Tripaladi Churna, Tiruladi Gashaya, Amrutara Gashaya, like endowment drugs. If you are giving endowment drugs, then there will be drastic reduction of these eruptions over the skin. So by assessing the status of the Samprati Gadagas, if they are having that much amatwa inside their body, we will be giving some amavajana drugs. Amavajana drugs like this Pajanamrita Kashayam, like that. If you are assessing the analyzing the excellent prescriptions of excellent Vaidyas, we can see this. For every patient, they are asking some questions to assess them in terms of Samprapti Gadagas. Then they are forming a particular prescription which is having a suitable drugs to reverse this particular Samprapti. So, in our instructional objective, I told about the proper diagnostic method and how we can reach at a particular diagnosis. And the third one, how we can select the appropriate drug, appropriate combination of drugs to alleviate these particular conditions. You see, I have mentioned some points there. You see, if we construct a particular Samprapti status of, if we can assess the patient according to the status of the Samprapti, it is easy. It is easy to select a particular drug from the paraphernalia of combinations. You see, if the patient requires some deep amavachana drug, for example, in case of skin diseases, we can see more than the costa ama, the ama may extend to the rasa level or rectal level. So we can see in final year Vishamajara Prakarana, there are so many references regarding the Vishamajara Kashayas mentioned. Vishamajara Kalingam Padavarasya Patram Gadugrohini is a very excellent drug for Rasabhadana. And the Padavara Sariva Muspa Pada Gadugrohini is an excellent drug for Rektabhadana. Like that, if the amatwa inside our body is latent inside the rasa level or the rectal level, we have to select amavajana drugs from the paraphernalia of Vishamajara. You see, Kalingam Padavalesya Bhakta Kadavirohini is a very excellent drug in so many skin diseases. Skin diseases having this ama at the level of rasa. This we can assess through Upashaya only. If we are giving that drug and we are getting a good result, we can continue that drug for some time, and after that, if we can select some Dektabhajana drugs from the Padavala Sariva Pusta Patagadi Rodi. Like that, if we are selecting Amapajana drugs for a patient who requires that much Amapajana, then automatically, if we are giving that particular drugs for a particular condition, we are getting drastic result from that. So the selection of drug is mainly depend upon the Samprapti Gadagas, the status of Samprapti we have formulated earlier. So after the Amvajana, you see the Pratidomata is a very important condition. Pratidomata is the status of Koshta in which Anidomata of the Vada is disturbed and Vada continuously goes in the opposite direction. So in order to correct the Pratidomata, we have to select a drug, the anidominant drugs from there. In some cases, we need Sramsana. Sramsana means Paktavyam eta Srishan Poste Manadi. So the armor precipitated in our koshta should be eliminated by these Sramsana drugs. For example, you see in every kushta the cutaneous manifestation, some all physicians, eminent physicians, they prescribe Padavata Mudali Churna, or Vibhanti Churna, or Manibhadra like that. The Sramsana drugs initially. So initially you see for every skin condition there will be accumulated or precipitated the dosha drushti or ama inside of body. So administrating environment, this Samsonite type, that will cause the drastic propagation of the accumulated dosha from our body, and that in turn will form an endomina. And after this Ramsana and endomina, how much amount of the ama remains in our body, that will be metabolized by the vaginal tracts. So after Sramsana and Illumina and Vajana, we can select a proper even from our
Sir, voice is breaking. Any connection problem?
Combination. We reach at the even stage, we will select the
I think network issue, sir.
So while going for a clinical practice, you see really in second year you have studied the Nidana and Samprapti of various manifestations are not linked between the treatment parts. While going for a clinical practice, we have to link the connection between the Samprapti Ghadakas and the treatments. So many drugs are there. In these drugs, we have to stick about the criteria of the Samprapti alleviation. For Ama, we have to select partner drugs like Amrutotara Kashayam, like that. So while attending a patient, we have to assess the patient into the status, and for that we can select best for that. For proper endominant drug, if they are having that much Pradhiramada, proper Amavadi, if they are having that much Ama inside of the body, and after that we can select Agni Vruddhikara or Deepan address like a Guru from the from our custody. So after Deepana, we can select this Srodo Shuddha or a Dosha address or a Srodo Shuddhika address. Like so the harm studies, the Nimbadis, so many drugs are there. They are doing. Good, clear. Hello, is it okay? Hello, hello, hello. Hello.
Hello, sir. Hello. Not clear, sir.
Not audible at all.
Sir, not audible.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, can we hear? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
തീരെ കേൾക്കുന്നില്ലേ?
Sir, video off ആണ് sir.
വീഡിയോ ഓഫ് ആണോ? ഹലോ,
അതെ അതെ.
ഞാൻ ഓൺ ആക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ടല്ലോ.
വീഡിയോ കാണുന്നില്ല sir.
ബ്ലാക്ക് ആണ് കാണുന്നത് അല്ലേ?
ആ.
ഹലോ.
ഹലോ.
കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? ഹലോ.
Yes sir, you are audible.
കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ?
Yes, yes, കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ട് sir.
കാണുന്നില്ല അല്ലേ?
കാണുന്നില്ല.
കാണുന്നുണ്ടോ?
കാണുന്നില്ല sir. കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട്, കാണുന്നില്ല.
Hello.
ഹലോ.
ഹലോ.
കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടോ?
കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട് sir.
ക്യാമറ ഓൺ ആണ് ഇവിടെ.
പക്ഷെ ഫുൾ ബ്ലാക്ക് ആണ്, ഒന്നും കാണുന്നില്ല.
സാറെ കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്തോളൂ.
കേൾക്കാം അല്ലേ?
കേൾക്കാം.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
Sir, കേൾക്കാം.
Okay. Then our three three first one, what method of diagnosis we have to adopt, and we have to how we have to reach at a particular diagnosis, and third one, how we have to select the particular drug, and fourth one, how we can prepare a prescription which is ideal. In that ideal prescription, at this time you will be knowing how we have to prepare a prescription. So according to the patient, we can select a particular drug which is having this much anilomana quality, and this much amapajana quality, and this much agnidipana quality, and this much dosha shamana quality, this much srodho shuddhi quality, like that. By selecting by preparing a prescription, initially we can give some medicines which are having sramsana and anilomana gunas, or amapajana gunas. After completing the amapajana, we can select some drugs which are having dipana quality. So drugs like the guruchadi, then at that stage we can prescribe. And after completing the sramsana or anilomana or amapajana or agnidipti, we can select drugs suitable for doing srodho shuddhi or dosha shamana or dhadu prasadana, like that. So after that, we are selecting some drugs, some rasayanas which can do ojo vruddhi or rasa shuddhi or the dhadu prasadana, like that. So this is the actual formula behind the selection of drugs for each and every skin condition. While a patient with eczema consult you, then we have to assess the eczema not only in the morphological aspect. We have to ask the questions which can contribute towards the Samprapti Ghadagas, which are the Samprapti Ghadagas involved in that particular patient. If he requests that much amapajana, we have to select amapajana drugs for that. After that only, we have to go for Diptikara drugs or dosha shamana drugs. If we are going in this protocol, then the stages will gradually elevate from the body. The actual pathology will alleviate through this process. So this is the ideal method of writing a prescription. And the final for fifth one, I'll tell how we have to select the ideal external therapy in a cutaneous case. In the skin condition, how we have to select a topical drug or treatment. As you know, there are so many topical applications or external therapy for various skin diseases. Kashaya dharas are the Taila dharas are the ointment application, or some Taila applications are the. So many applications are there. So, as I told earlier, if the patient is having that much kleda inside the body or that much ama inside the body, if you are applying a grida or a Taila over that skin, that the chances of aggravation is there. That after 2 or 3 days, that will aggravate and exacerbated skin will manifest. So in this case also, we have to receive a particular protocol. We have to adopt a protocol by which we can alleviate the ama or kleda inside the body initially. So while patient is coming, if that skin condition is having that much cleda, or if that is a weeping eczema, we will select drugs which can do amapajana outside the skin. For example, if the patient comes with a weeping eczema, we will select Tribhaladi Kashaya or Guruji Kashaya. That can alleviate the cleda from the skin lesion. That drug should alleviate the cleda from the skin. So Dushna is essential initially. Before doing Dushna, if you apply any Dushna drug or irritating drug, the chances of aggravation is there. In Kushta Prakarana or Visarpa Prakarana, there is a mention that if we apply any irritant lotion or irritant application over a skin which is not purified properly, that the chances of aggravation is very, very large. So before going for a external ointment or external tile application, we have to do proper cleaning or cleda haratho of that condition. So initially we will administer some saumya kashayas. Some saumya kashayas means the kashaya which cannot aggravate or irritate the skin. So the Amalagi Kashaya is the excellent one. Amalagi or Tribhala Kashaya, Guruji Kashaya, etc. will do Kleda Shoshana from that part. After doing a Kleda Shoshana, we can select some drugs which are having that much, which are not that much irritant in character. Some, for example, Gulguru containing some oils are there. Gulgulu Marijai Taila or some Chirata Taila, they are having irritant properties. So before applying irritant oil or irritant ointment there, we have to use some Saumya Kashayas or Saumya drugs to alleviate the amatva from the body, from over the skin. And after alleviating the ama, then only we have to very slowly we have to proceed. If we apply some oil, that should be very saumya. For example, we will apply some Govatmajadi or Chambratyadi oil like that. So that is where that kind of application, where the judicious application is very essential while doing in a topical therapy. Otherwise, if you apply a ointment or oil initially, without alleviating the Samprapti Ghadagas, the latent Samprapti Ghadagas from the body, the chances of aggravation is there. So initially you apply Amapajana, the Kleda Shoshana drugs externally, and after the Kleda Shoshana, you apply very judiciously this kind of oils or ointments like that. So these are the instructional objectives of my session. So you asked based upon these principles and practices of clinical dermatology. So many, I know you will be having so many doubts regarding this. So if you ask some questions, I will answer, and by that we can proceed. Okay. Am I audible?
हेलो सर रिकरेंट फंगल इन्फेक्शन के लिए हम आयुर्वेद में क्या दे सकते हैं? हेलो सर, मैं am audible?
Can you hear?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sir, recurrent fungal infection.
You're audible. Which audible?
Yes, yes. Yes, sir. Recurrent fungal infection के लिए आयुर्वेद में?
Okay. Okay. I will tell. Actually, through the session, main objective of this session was the bridging between the theoretical aspects and the practical aspects. That is why I have not mentioned the individual cases. So in the case of if you are asking some individual cases, I will answer by linking between the theoretical and the practical aspects of these cases. So you see, in fungal infections, the nidana, you see,
Yes.
externally this will be having moisture condition. In that atmosphere only, the fungus will aggravate. The Tinea cruris is there, Tinea corporis is there, Tinea pedis is there, Tinea barbae is there, Tinea capitis is there. So various kinds of fungal infections are there in over the superficial skin. The superficial skin, the fungal infection over superficial skin happens due to the external moistness of that particular skin. More than that, the sweat coming out of our body, sweat coming over the skin, that is not completely decomposed. That is why the fungal infection happens. So that may be
Okay.
correlated with the Bachymalajek krimi described in Ayurveda. Bachymalajek krimi happens due to the Bachyamala. Bachyamala, we have to alleviate the chances of Bachyamala. Cleanliness is very important. So in order to alleviate the moistureness of the skin, we have to wash that area with cool water. You see, warm water will aggravate the proliferation. So cool water,
Yes.
cold water is very essential. That cold water, if we wash that area with cold water, and after that we have to dehydrate that area. Dehydrate that area with some powders like the Tangana powder. Tangana. If we powder that Tangana, and Tangana powder will alleviate the moisture of that atmosphere. So over the area, you pour the powder, the Tangana, and inside you take inside the Amapajana drugs like Padola Kadurohini. Padola Shariba Mustapata Kadurohini is an ideal combination for the Rektapajana drugs.
Okay.
Like that, Padola Kadurohini also is a Rektapajana drug. So we have to purify internally with some Pajana Kashayas.
Okay.
If we administer internally and externally, that fungal infection can be managed.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Hello, sir.
Okay, ask.
Hello, sir. There are some questions in the chat box. I will read it out. Dr. Kevin Rao has
Okay.
asked, what are the treatment guidelines for Shvitra Kushta?
Okay. In Chitrakushta, earlier I mentioned the various descriptions about cutaneous manifestations are described in various parts of our textbooks. In Chitrakushta, you see, Chitrakushta is a cutaneous manifestation, is a pigmentary disorder. Pigmentary disorder happens due to the autoimmune mechanism, that is cytotoxic antibody precipitate is forming, and the melanocytes are distracted by the antibody combination. So the melanocytes should be regenerated to heal this particular condition. So there are some particular areas, there are no the negative dopa melanocytes. Means that area can be regenerated. So in that particular area, if Chitra happens, it is very difficult to regenerate that melanocytes. Otherwise, other areas, we can regenerate the negative dopa melanocytes by giving some internal drugs as well as external applications. Generally, we purify our body with the same protocol described by me. By assessing the condition of the patients, initially we have to give proper Samsana drug and Amavajivana drugs, and after we have to select some particular drugs to trigger the process of melanogenesis. So for that we are giving some particular drugs like Markava Rasayana and Guluchali, like that. So many drugs are there. And after, simultaneously we are giving an external application with which contain Avalguja Bija, the Cargovilary in Malayalam. Avalguja Bija Churna is a combination, and we will apply that particular the powder mixed with the Gomutra over the area, and we will expose that area to sunlight, and internally also we will give proper purification of our body. Okay.
Okay, sir, thank you. And next question is from Meera Bhattadripada. She has asked the management and understanding of prickly heat for toddler with excessive sweating.
Okay. Mainly the prickly heat is prickly heat happens due to the duct abnormality, sweat duct and sebaceous duct abnormality in small children, toddler. So actually that is a the duct deformation in growth. So before completing the duct formation or a sweat duct formation or sebaceous duct formation, this same condition repeats in so many toddlers. So in those children, we have to manage the atmosphere condition suitable for them. So in that is a type of manifestation which is similar to Pitta Pragova. So we have to give some drugs which are having Pitta Samana in quality, and externally also we have to wash the area. You should not close that area with the powder or oil. Wash that area with Shida drugs to alleviate the Pitta Dushti, and internally also we can give some slight the Avibhati Churna. It may make a kashaya and they give with the honey, very small doses internally. And externally Chandana Kashaya, Kashaya Dhara or Lebana we will give. Hello.
Hello, sir. Thank you, sir. The next question is from Ashwini Sujita. She has asked the management and understanding of lichen planus.
Okay. The case of lichen planus, that is also an autoimmune disease. So antibody complex will be formed, and that will precipitate. Actually, that will precipitate at the nerve endings, and cutaneous manifestation will be presented. So in those cases, actually, the management of lichen planus or psoriasis and or any other skin diseases, basically we are following the protocol described by me initially. Initially, we will assess the status of the condition, and after assessing the status of the patient, the Samrapti Ghatakas, we will alleviate the each and every factor in that. If the patient requires proper Shodhana, Sramsana, we will give Sramsana initially, and after that we will give Pajana drugs suitable for skin diseases and the Ivana drugs like that. And after that, in the case of lichen planus, we are giving some particular kashayas described in Vishachikitsa Prakarana in some Ayurvedic texts. Especially Nini Dorasyadi Kashaya is the Shonidamrutam Kashaya is the. These kashayas will be giving at the proper time for this Srodha Shuddhi. Externally also, we will give some external applications containing the Takra and Nimbali Churna, like some external applications also we are using. After giving this Amavajana and Deepana, if necessary, we will administer some Snehabana containing Tikta, Grida or some Kalyana Grata or Nimbadi Grata like that. So after giving Snehabana, we are giving Shodhana. In the Prakarana of Shodhana, we can see Pajani Devani Padani Devani Snehe Stan Swedesha Parishkritan Shodhani Shodhe Shodhani Kare Mithasanam Mithav like that. After before giving this Snehabana and all, we are giving proper Amapajana and Devana drugs, and after that, in the case of lichen plants, after giving this Rodho special kashayas like Neeli Tulasiyadi, after that, if the condition persists, then we will select Snehabana, and after that, we will purify the body. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. The next question is from Dr. Kashmira. She has asked the management of urticaria.
Urticaria. So in the case of urticaria, you see, I explained earlier, the Amatwa inside the body is basically latent inside the Rasadhadu. So if we give some Amrotri Kashaya or Rajiniya Churna like drugs, at the time of medicine intake, the symptoms may reduce. But after stopping the medicine, the chances of exacerbation is there. So in order to reduce the chances, we have to select the drug, the Pajana drugs suitable to the ama at the level of Rasa Dhatu. So for that, we are using Kalingam Padalasi Patrangadaguruni. That is a Rasabhajana drug. If you are using Rasabhajana drug in the cases of urticaria, that gives good results. Okay. Is it okay?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, the next question is from Arunima Ebi. How can we understand the skin tax in terms of Ayurveda, and how can we manage it?
Skin tags are charmagiras. There is no that much pathology is there. That happens due to the Srodha Vaigunya of skin of some particular patients. So that may be removed externally from that electric cautery. If we use electric cautery, we can remove that skin tags. It is not necessary to take that much drugs inside our body to remove these skin tags. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you. The next question is from Kiran Biraj. What are the best kashaya for various skin diseases with reference to various avasthas?
Okay. Like previously I told you, the status of the patient should be assessed properly. If the patient requires Sramsana, in Kerala we are giving Padala Mudali Kashaya or Padala Mudali Sushma Yurna for the Sramsana of the patient. Initial stage of every skin diseases, we will give Padala Mudali or Padala Mudali Sushma Yurna or Kashaya to do a proper Sramsana. After that, we will select some Pajana drugs. Pajana drugs means Koshta Pajana, it is Amrotra Kashaya we are giving, and Rasa Pajana we are giving Garingam Padala Sivakram. And for Rakta Pajana we are giving Padala Shariba Mustapata Gadironi. Some similar Kashayas we will select for like Padala Gadironi Kashaya to elevate the Rakta Pajana. And after that we are giving the Guluchari Kashaya for the Agni Devana. The same compounds which contains the same the drugs like that of this Guluchari or this kind of Rakta or like that, we can select. In your place also there will be some particular kashayas which are similar to these kashayas or compounds. So you can use these kind of kashayas also. After doing this Devana, we are selecting Srodho Shuddhikara drugs or Srodho specific drug or a Dosha Shamana drug or Dhadu Prasadana drug like that. For example, in the case of Vata and Rakta involvement, if we suspect Rakta involvement and Vata involvement in a particular condition, we are using Manjishtadi Kashaya, which is specially indicated for Vata Rakta condition. Manjishtadi Kashaya. Maha Manjishtadi Kashaya we are using for a for a spectrum of conditions, the conditions in which a multi-system involvement is there. So we are using Mahamanjishtadi Kashaya. Nimbadi Kashaya we are using in particular conditions which are having papular or nodular lesions in skin, over the skin. If we palpate the skin, we can feel nodules or papules. In that case, we are using Nimbadi Kashaya. In Sahasra Yoga, that Kashaya is explained. So other specific Kashayas means the Amrita Rajanyadi Kashaya is there, Amrita Pushra Padoladi Kashaya is there. They are used for the urticaria or Visarpa conditions. Especially they are used after, if they are used after doing proper Pajana and Devana, that gives a drastic effect. Otherwise, the Kashayas will give symptomatic result. And after stopping the Kashaya, the manifestation will recur. So after giving proper Sramsana, Anilomana, and Amavajana, Devana, we are selecting these types of Kashayas. I think it's okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you. And next question is from Sonia Sharma. What can be used as sunscreen?
For sunscreen, in modern medicine, there are so many sunscreens which contain aloe vera as a main content. If that contain aloe vera without salicylic acid, there is no side effect at all. If salicylic acid is contained in aloe vera creams, that is not suitable for our skin. While using these aloe vera creams for sunscreens, it will be for the time being that will be good. But after applying the salicylic acid creams, if we using that lotion for a long time, chances of hyperpigmentation is there. So pure natural aloe vera creams are very excellent sunscreens. In Kerala, we use pure coconut oil in a very mild quantity for the purpose of sunscreens. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you. And next question is from Arundhati Mukunda. She has asked, what are the internal medicines for Rekta Dushti?
Okay, Rekta Dushti, I already told very detailed that Rekta Dushti happens as a result of this Samprapti or Rektavas Rododushti Nidanas explains, and due to this Rektavas Rododushti Nidanas, Rektavaha Rododushti happens, and for the purification of Rektadushti, it is essential to give proper Amavajana at the level of Rektavas Rodas. So Rektavajana drugs we are using, Padola Shariva Musta Padagadi. That's an ideal drug, Rektavas Rodoshuddhi. And Rekta Moksha is an ideal measure to for the purification of recta in our body. If possible, in solitary lesions, we can use Jaluga or Prachana or like that for Rekta Shuddhi. And internal medicines, we can use Padola Shariva Musta or Padola Virunyadi Kashaya like that. Okay.
Hello, sir. Thank you. The next question is for Ojo Vritti and Rasa Vritti, what do you have to give?
Actually, in Kushta Prakarana itself, there are references regarding Mamsa Rasa. The Ajamamsa Rasa should be taken for the Vata Shamana of the skin cases. So for the Ojo Vritti or Rasa Prasadana for the cutaneous diseases, after doing all these procedures, at the end of the treatment, we can prescribe Mamsa Rasa, Ajamamsa Rasa mixed with some Devana drugs. We will prepare that Ajamamsa with some adding some Devana drugs like Jeera or this pepper like that. So if we are administered these type of Jeevaniya drugs after purification and after Agni Devana, that will be very Ojo Vardhaka or Rasa Prasadana. Okay.
Okay, sir, thank you. The next question is from Dr. Anjali. She has asked the treatment for blackhead on face.
Okay. Actually, the blackheads are the seborrheic keratitis. Seborrheic keratitis means due to the duct deformity, facial skin will be having some accumulation or precipitate of black melanocytes over the duct area. So, if that much blackheads are there, we can give clear Shoshana or clear eruptional drugs inside our body, in our body. For example, Triphalani Kashaya we are using internally for clear Shoshana, clear Hartha. I say Toggara clear Nashana is the particular Palasudi of this Triphala Churna. External also, we keratolytic ointments or keratolytic lotions, keratolytic lavana we are using, like Triphala mixed with this takra, like that. If that is in a very mild condition, that will be alleviated, that will be reversed by these medicines. If that is that much accumulated or that much precipitated without doing the correction of this sebaceous duct, it is necessary to electric cautery that area. Okay.
Okay, sir. The next question is from Fatima. She has asked the treatment for atopic dermatitis.
Okay. In the case of atopic dermatitis also, you see the basic protocol is the same as described previously. The Saramsana of the patient is very essential before going for the Pajana. And after that, we will give Pajana drugs. Pajanamrita is the ideal drug giving for the atopic dermatitis in many cases. After giving these Pajana drugs, if the patient is having some relation with this asthma, some cases are there which are atopic dermatitis and atopic asthma will be there simultaneously. So if we suppress the asthma, then the aggravation of cutaneous manifestation happens. If we suppress the cutaneous condition, then the aggravation of the asthma will happen. So in those cases, after proper samsana, we will give Pajana drugs which are suitable for the Pranavirus roses and Reservoirs roses. For example, Pancha Tiktakam Kashai is the ideal drug for that. Pancha Tiktaka contains two drugs attributed to Pranavirus roses and three drugs attributed to Rectavirus roses. So we can use that type of particular Pajana drugs suitable for both, or if in some conditions 2 or 3 srotas will be involved. In those conditions, we can select some drugs which are having the property of Pajana at these 3 levels. So after giving Samsana and Pajana, we will give some specific or exclusive drugs for the Pajana at the level of these drugs. And after that, in the case of atopic dermatitis, it is not easy to reverse the condition. So after giving proper Pajana and Deepana, we have to give proper Snehavani. Only even after one Snehavana, and after that we have to give 2 or 3 times the Snehavana and Shuddhi for those patients who are having recurrent exacerbations and remissions of these conditions. So after doing proper Snehavana and Shuddhi, and we have to give Rasayana drugs. And after the period of a period of 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, we have to repeat the same protocol. Then only the cases of atopic dermatitis can be managed. So okay. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. It's okay. And now, treatment for chronic dandruff by Vidushi, Dr. Vidushi.
Okay. In the case of chronic dandruff, you see the clada over the scalp skin is very relevant. the clyada over the scalp skin happens as a result of the impurities over the scalp due to the destruction of the sebaceous duct. So as a secondary infection, there may be having the infection of the fungal infection. Tinea furfur may happen. Tinea furfur infection will be happening over the sebaceous area, and that will lead for long period, and a chronic dandruff may happen. So in the case of chronic dandruff, we have to consider the Toggala clyada and chronic prodilomata inside the body also. In so many patients, I have observed this. The dandruff happens due to the prodilomata inside their body. So proper environment is very essential. Along with that, we have to give drugs to elevate the moisture condition inside their scalp skin, and externally also we have to use some the Amalaki Kashaya or Triphala Kashaya for the proper washing of that area. After proper washing the scalp skin, we can use some oils which are having the property of keratolysis. Other oils will aggravate the condition. So in small quantity of oils which are having the property of keratolysis, we can use very small quantity. In simultaneous days, we can use the Amalaki Kashaya. Amalaki Kashaya one day, and after that next day we have to use some oils which are having the keratolytic property. So intermittently, if we are using these medicines as external application, we can manage the chronic dandruff. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you. The next question is from Kiran Viraj. Best Rasayana drug for psoriasis?
In psoriasis case, you see, depending upon the patients, we are selecting the Rasayana drugs. For example, in some patients, we will select this Avalguja mixed with takra, and that will be fermented, and we will take the Navanida for external application, and this takra will be used for internal administration. The Khadira Sara is an external excellent example for another Rasayana. Khadira will be Khadira Kashta will be made into pieces, and we will make a decoction with that, and we will use boil that for some time, and we will take this Khadira Sara Rasayana. Avalguja Rasayana is there. Tubaraga Rasayana is also is there. In the case of psoriasis or lichen planus, the type of Rasayana we cannot specify which is the best Rasayana like that. For depending upon the patients, we can select the Rasayana. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. It's okay. Thank you. Dr. Kranti has asked treatment of melasma. Hello, sir.
Hello. Sound is
Hello.
not clear.
Yeah. Treatment of melasma. Melasma. Hello, sir.
Question. Hello. Sound is not. Hello.
Hello, sir. Am I not audible?
Hello. I can't hear. I can't hear you.
Okay. Hello, sir. Treatment of melasma.
Okay. Melasma. Okay. Melasma is a multi-system involved disease. Actually, the melasma happens as a result of hormonal imbalance in some patients. In some patients, so there may be some strain, mental strain will be there as a reason. In some patients, the seborrheic seborrheic area derangement may be the reason. So after assessing the exact reason for the melasma means the venga or netcha over the facial skin. So that happens due to the destruction of sebaceous duct or the particular area of sebaceous duct over this. So basic, by assessing the basic reason behind that, we may try with the medicines. But if that is very much related with some kind of mental anxieties or tensions, it is very difficult to manage. Some genetic involvement also is there. So if that is due to simple sebaceous duct deformity, which is having no relation with other systemic involvement, that can be managed with some lotions or some internal administrations. Basically we are giving some external washes with Amalagi Kashaya and internal use of Tripura Churna. Is it okay? Hello?
Yes, sir, it's okay. Yes, sir. Sir, Dr. Tanushree has asked treatment for folliculitis. Sir?
Okay, folliculitis also. Hello, can you hear? Hello? Hello, hi, can you hear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. In folliculitis, you see, basically the duct debility over the follicular area, the hair follicular area, basically that is a genetic defect. So around the follicle, there will be so many minute accessory structures. They will be having some blockages in folliculitis cases. So generally happens below knee area, diffused folliculitis in that area. So if that area is washed with some amla kashayas having amla guna, the chances of opening of these ducts are there. So in those cases also we are using Tripura Kashaya for external wash. Internally we will use Kimbadi Kashaya with the Gulguru Panchamara Churna for the purification of that is Rodhas. By that, up to some extent, that will be very excellent management. Some cases we are using Prachana Rektamoksha also. If that is very extended, the scope of the Prachana is very relevant. So if we do incisions, longitudinal incisions in that area, the chances of repair is there. So by this chance, the regeneration over that area happens. So that is also very excellent management modality. Is it okay?
Yes, sir, it's okay. Thank you. And Dr. Gayatri want to ask questions directly to you, sir. Dr. Gayatri, you can ask to him.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Hello. Sir, my
Namaste,
question
namaste.
is the patient is not fit for Shodhana, sir. He is suffering from lichen planus. It is due to as a reaction of long-term usage of anti-diabetic drugs. Now he is using insulin and it's getting healing that area. But how to control that itching and flakiness of lichen planus?
Okay. You see that patient, I think multi-system involvement is there. So in those cases also, we have to consider the complete sum-property of that patient. Otherwise, the itching, in the case of itching, the symptom itching, so many reasons are there. Is simply due to the mental strain, the triggering of the itching may happen. Nerve ending irritation may cause the itching, and so many external atmospheric changes also cause the this dehydration over the skin, and that also will increase the itching. In some areas, due to the dryness of the skin, also cause the itching. So what is the exactly what is the reason you should assess? Mainly in the case of lichen planus, the itching happens due to the precipitation of the antibody compound over the area of nerve end. So it is very difficult to cure the itching in those patients which are the lichen planus patients who are having this kind of multi-system involvement, diabetes also. So by giving Clayada drug which is suitable for prameha or diabetes, you should treat the patient initially. Otherwise, the anti-pruritic drugs will not be that much effective. In the case of diabetic pruritus or the lichen planus in patients with diabetic, Shonidamrita Kashaya is a very good choice. Shonidamrita Kashaya means the Kashaya containing this Abhaya and Nimba and this Shariba, Abhaya Nimba Shariba. This Shonidamrita Kashaya is very effective in the case of lichen planus related with the diabetes. Is it
Shonita
okay?
Nimba, sir.
Shonita Amradam Kashayam that contains Abhaya, Nimba and Shariba. Abhaya, Nimba and Shariba.
Okay. Okay,
In
sir.
equal,
Thank you.
equal quantity. Before that you should do proper Shodhana and Pajana. In the case of diabetes also we can give Tripurari Churna as a Shodhana drugs. Abhaya Churna, Abhaya Kashaya are there. We can give those drugs with some anti-diabetic drugs also. But will go, Samsana is not necessary, but any Shodhana should be ascertained.
Sir, any anti-diabetic
okay?
drug action on skin also, sir? Both anti-diabetic and anti.
Guluchi is very effective drug. Guluchi.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Gayatri. Thank you, sir. I'm over to you, Annu.
Hello?
That was indeed knowledge encircling session. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable wisdom. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now I invite Vaidya Manoj sir to hand over the e-certificate as our token of gratitude and love towards Dr. P.M. Madhu sir. I also invite Dr. P.M. Madhu sir for receive the same.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mal sir, for your valuable presentation. It was very useful session for our students. Samprapti of skin diseases and Samprapti Vikadana of skin diseases are very nicely explained. And with your vast experience in treating skin diseases, so many Aushadha yogas and prayogas you explained. It was a nice session. As a token of gratitude, please receive this certificate. Now giving e-certificate, we will send it by post. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now I invite Chaitanya, final year student Ashtanga, for deliver the vote of thanks.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Audible.
Hello.
Yes,
Chaitanya, you are audible. Okay. 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 Honorable respected committee, delegates, and my dear friends. A warm good is organizing and it's the close of the second session of Chikitsa Siddhi 2020 National Level Webinar Series of Ashtangam Ayurveda by Jinaya on behalf of Ashtangam Ayurveda Chikitsalayam Evam and entire fraternity of the institution. First of all, I'd like to thank Almighty God for making today's event a great success. I would also like to extend thanks to Madhu sir, assistant Kannu, who schedule. It was indeed a knowledgeable session on dermatology principles and practices. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your very informative session. Also, I would like to extend my extreme gratitude to our Kayasulusa department. I thank Vaidya Narayanan Nambisa, Principal and HOD of Department of Kayasulusa, Vaidya Manoj Sir, Deputy Medical Superintendent and Assistant Professor of Department of Kayasulusa, Professor of Department of Kayasulusa, and Vaidya Ansri Ma'am, Assistant Professor of Department of Kayasulusa, Ashtanga Ayurveda Chikitsalayam. I would also like to thank Subhana Samath, final year student, for reciting the prayer. I would also like to thank Shrudeepi, final year student, for the welcome speech. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the delegates and all dear friends for your keen participation, which made this event a resounding success. Thank you all. Thank you, Chaitanya. Delegates, please make sure that you have filled the feedback form. Tomorrow, we will have our third section of Chikitsa Siddhi 2020 webinar series at 2 to 4 p.m. on the topic Vadavyadhi